Hello everybody, it's DTK Productions and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I've downloaded a roster that has put every single player in the NBA back into their prime self. For example, we got LeBron back at a 99 overall. Stephen Curry is a 98. Kawhi's back up to a 96. Harden, a 95. Derrick Rose, a 95. Russell Westbrook, a 95. So before we get started, I want to cycle through all the teams, show you some of the changes that have happened to some of the players. And then when we're done with this, if you guys want to leave a prediction down in the comments below, what team do you guys think is going to be the best if everyone's in their prime? Well, the first team, 76ers, you got James Harden jumping up to a 95. That's a big improvement. The Bucks get Brook Lopez up to an 87. Serge Ibaka goes up. Drummond and Dragic for the Bulls will jump up. The Celtics, Al Horford takes a little boost, I'm pretty sure. And then for the Clippers, you got Prime Kawhi and Paul George, and then you got John Wall, jumps up to a 90 overall. Not much happens to the Grizzlies because they're a young team. The Hawks, not a whole lot happens. The Heat, Jimmy Butler, 93, Kyle Lowry, 89, Victor Oladipo, 88, and then you got Udonis Haslem making that jump up to an 84. Charlotte Hornets, Gordon Hayward jumps up to an 88. Utah Jazz, Mike Conley jumps up to an 88. Not much happens for the Sacramento Kings. New York Knicks, Derrick Rose jumps up to a 95. That's a huge improvement. Getting a 95 prime Derrick Rose is very helpful to any team. The LA Lakers get really good with their top three players. LeBron jumps up to a 99. Westbrook, 95. Anthony Davis, 94. But then all the role players haven't really had a prime. So these three are going to really have to carry for that squad. Nothing happens for the Orlando Magic. The Dallas Mavericks don't really have any notable improvements. The Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, TJ Warren all go back to their primes. Denver Nuggets, DeAndre Jordan makes that jump up to an 87. Not much happens for the Indiana Pacers. Not much happens for the Pelicans or the Pistons or the Raptors. The Rockets have Eric Gordon jumping up to an 84. Not much happens for the San Antonio Spurs. The Suns, they get Chris Paul up to a 97 overall. The OKC Thunder don't really have that much improvement, which you've seen so far through all the young teams. The young teams haven't had their players enter their primes yet, so they haven't had anything to go back to. The Timberwolves don't have that much improvement, except D'Angelo Russell gets a little bit better. Trailblazers have Damian Lillard jump up to a 94 overall. The Golden State Warriors get Draymond Green up to a 91. Klay Thompson's a 91, and Steph Curry takes that jump up to a 98. And then for the Washington Wizards, I believe Kristaps Porzingis jumps up a little bit. But now that you guys have seen all the teams so far, go down to the comments and leave your prediction on who you guys think is going to win the championship. And we're going to do 2 years of this, so there's 2 chances. So if in the first year you're wrong, don't worry, you've got a second year to have that opportunity. Now, something you guys might be wondering is, what about the free agents? Here you go. Carmelo Anthony, 95 overall. Dwight Howard, 93 overall. Blake Griffin, 90. Rondo, 90. Boogie, 90. LaMarcus Aldridge, 89. Kemba, 89. Iguodala, 88. And as I scroll down, you guys will just see a bunch of players that are taking big jumps in overall to their prime selves. Now, I'm pretty sure this roster was created pretty early in the season, which is why you don't see some of these guys on teams already. And that's also why some of the roster moves that have happened in real life you don't see reflected in this video. So now we're just about ready to start up this video, but I'm going to sim a few weeks into the season and show you guys where some of these free agents that jumped up in overall end up going, and then from there we'll move on. So here we are a few weeks into the season. Let the signings begin. Carmelo Anthony, a 95 overall, gets a 1-year, $5 million deal for the Timberwolves. Dwight Howard will go to the Nets. Griffin to the Hornets. And I mean, you guys can see where all these guys end up going. If you guys want to change your prediction, now's the time to do it. Now we're ready to continue simming. I'll see you guys at the All-Star break. We can see who the All-Stars are if everyone in the league was in their prime. So before we look at the All-Stars, we're going to look at award races. MVP, if everyone's in their prime, it doesn't matter. Luka Doncic is still that guy. But LeBron jumps up to second place. Jokic is here at third. But the big surprise here is Kevin Love jumping up to fourth in the MVP race, averaging 22, 13.5, and about 6. So right now, Ben Simmons looks like he's going to win Sixth Man of the Year, and Darius Garland is actually playing backup point guard, so I want to check the Cavs team, see who they picked up. I might have missed something. And when you bring prime Dwight Howard back into the NBA, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's just what he does. So I had to check why Darius Garland was playing 6-man minutes, and it's because I forgot Ricky Rubio would take that jump up too, and he's playing up to an 87 right now. So if the coach is going to give him that starting job, I mean, might as well. They're winning games. They're 40-21 right now. So here are the All-Stars. We're going to look through, see if we find people that aren't normally in this spot, like Draymond Green right here, an All-Star reserve. He's the only one on this team that I wouldn't expect to see here on a normal simulation. But if you go to the other side, you see Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, and Derrick Rose as all-star starters. And on the bench, you've got Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry. So this team is definitely more adventurous. Oh, and Russell Westbrook. I forgot about him. A quick look at the NBA right now. The best team is the Boston Celtics. Their team, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams, with Iggy coming off the bench. And I'll scroll through the rest of the standings so you can see where your team might be at, see if your prediction is still holding true halfway through the first season, and then I'll meet you guys at the end of the season. So, end of the season, Luka Doncic will win your MVP, Jaden Ivey Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons 6th man, Dwight Howard DPOY. Your All-NBA first team looks pretty similar as to what it would be in a regular simulation. All-NBA second team, there's only one player I wouldn't expect to see on here in a regular simulation, Carmelo Anthony. And then for All-NBA third team, you got Kevin Love and Dwight Howard making that jump to become All-NBA caliber players once again. So this is what the playoffs are looking like in year number 1. Not really much to say as of right now. We're just going to sim the first round, see who moves on as the Hawks end up losing, the Bulls lose, the Lakers lose, the Pacers. Second round of the playoffs, this is what we've got going. Again, we're going to just go through the round. Not really much to say here. And these are the teams that are going to be facing off in the conference finals. You got the Mavericks versus the Nuggets and the Celtics versus the Cavs. So this is what the lineup is looking like for the Cavs versus Celtics. If you look at the Cavs, they've got 2 players that were affected by the prime upgrades, Ricky Rubio and Kevin Love. Both big improvements that have helped them get to this point. And if you look at the Celtics, they don't really have anybody that got affected in the starting lineup. Al Horford, maybe a couple overall points, but they do have a 6-man in Andre Iguodala. And if you look at the Nuggets versus the Mavericks, you see 2 players going head-to-head that were both affected by the upgrade. DeAndre Jordan versus DeMarcus Cousins in the paint. This would be a good matchup, but Nikola Jokic is also going to be in the paint for the Nuggets, helping them out. So I think you got to give the advantage to the Nuggets. They'll probably move on here. But we're just going to simulate the round, see who moves on to the NBA Finals. And I was completely wrong about the Denver Nuggets. They got absolutely destroyed by Luka and company. And over in the East, the Boston Celtics will fall to the Cavs. Luka averages 40.5, 10.5, and 14.5 with 3.3 steals and almost a block in his run to go to the NBA Finals. So for the NBA Finals, though, we're going to go game by game just to see how it goes, see if we need to simcast the game, as it doesn't look like so far it's that close. Cavs got a 3-1 lead. Game 5, the Mavericks needed to stay alive, and they can't get it. The Cleveland Cavaliers will win the first season. And your Finals MVP is going to be Kevin Love. He averaged 30, 10, and 5, and almost getting 2 blocks a game, shooting 50-50 splits in the NBA Finals. I mean, what more could you really ask for? So I wanted to take a look at free agency, and every single free agent that was signed from last year signed to a 1-year deal, so they're here on an unrestricted free agent. But then you got some guys like Derrick Rose who found themselves as an unrestricted free agent. You've got Victor Oladipo in this situation too, Mike Conley. A whole bunch of really good players have hit the free agency market right here. So free agency is all said and done. We can scroll through and look at the players that found new teams. Derrick Rose stays with the Knicks. Carmelo Anthony goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Dwight Howard finds a new home in Detroit. Blake Griffin's in Indiana. Kemba's in Houston. Rondo's in OKC. Then you've got guys like LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMarcus Cousins who are still sitting in free agency. I won't stop 3 weeks in. They will end up on a team, I'm sure, somewhere, but we're just going to let it play out. I'll meet you guys at the All-Star break. We can take a look at the situation we've got. So minutes to the All-Star break. Luka looks like he's going to be the MVP of the league once again. 6-man of the year. Darius Garland is still 6-man for his squad. DPOY right now, though, looks like it's going to go to LeBron James over Dwight Howard. We'll see how that shapes up at the end of the season. The All-Star teams look pretty similar to how they did last year. Carmelo Anthony finds himself there. Russell Westbrook. Derrick Rose, an All-Star starter. Dwight Howard, Kevin Love. Ben Simmons finds himself as an All-Star once again. So the best team in the NBA at this point is still the Boston Celtics, just as they were last year. Nothing really changed for their roster, except it looks like they lost Iggy. I'm sure he went somewhere else. The Brooklyn Nets are the 2nd seed in the NBA. Ben Simmons is their starting point guard. Kyrie Irving is playing shooting guard. Speak of the devil, here's Andre Iguodala. He's on the Nets. So the end of season number 2 has arrived. Luka is the MVP, as we could have predicted. Rajon goes on to win your 6th man of the year. LeBron, DPOY. And your All-NBA first team consists of Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin Love all find themselves able to make it to the All-NBA first team. Second team looks pretty familiar to a normal simulation, so we don't have to look at that one. All-NBA third team, however, John Wall, Ben Simmons, and Dwight Howard find themselves on this list. And here's a look at the playoffs. We're just going to go round by round like we did last year. Simulate round, see who goes on. The Bulls won't. So round 2 has arrived, and the defending champions are playing the Boston Celtics once again. That'll be an interesting matchup up there. but we're going to sim the whole round right here. Simulate round. See who goes on to the conference finals, and it won't be the Milwaukee Bucks, it won't be the Mavericks, it won't be the Celtics, and it won't be the Nuggets, which means the Cavaliers still have a shot to repeat. So the Cavaliers, you saw their roster last year. It doesn't look very different, but they're playing against a Nets team that's pretty good. Ben Simmons is the starter for them. Kyrie Irving is the shooting guard. Andre Iguodala, they picked up in free agency. Kevin Durant is playing really well. He's up to a 99 overall. But they do have Nicholas Claxton playing their center. But I don't think that's going to hurt the Nets enough to make them not go on to the championship. I got the Nets going on to the finals. And then if you look at the Western Conference Finals rosters right now, you got Russell Westbrook versus CJ. CJ's playing the point guard position. Brandon Ingram's your shooting guard against Seth Curry. This is where the Lakers are going to struggle. They have 3 ultra mega superstars, but then the rest of their roster isn't really that filled out. Herb Jones is going against a 99 LeBron James, though. Zion's got a 94 Anthony Davis. And then Jonas Valanciunas has a 77 Quincy Murray. So we're going to simulate these rounds, see what happens, see who moves on to the NBA Finals, and it won't be the Pelicans as they get swept by the Lakers, and it looks like the Cavs are up 3-1 against the Nets, and the Nets ended up coming back and winning. So we've got Anthony Davis and the Lakers going on to the NBA Finals versus Ben Simmons and the Nets. So here's one last roster comparison. You got the Brooklyn Nets versus the LA Lakers. It all comes down to this. See what happens. Game number 1 of the NBA Finals is going to go to the Lakers. Game 2 is going to the Nets. Game 3 going to the Lakers. Game 4 going to the Lakers. The Nets got to come back from 3-1 again if they want a shot here. Game number 5 doesn't matter. Lakers go on to win the NBA title. Russell Westbrook is your Finals MVP for the Los Angeles Lakers title run. He averaged 30, 10.5, and 13 with 3 steals and 1.5 blocks on 53% shooting and 45% from the 3. This is the Russell Westbrook every Lakers fan wishes they had at the beginning of the season. Right now, he's not playing too bad, but I mean, I think they'd still prefer this version of Russell Westbrook. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. My links are going to be down in the description if you want to check me out on some other platforms like Twitter and my Twitch. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy. It means a lot to me. There's going to be some more content on the way, so stick around for that, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.